Welcome to Speakeasy Conversations, I think 59, with Foul Language Comics own Brian Gordon and Doug and I. Hey, at least y'all got Brian Gordon, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Right. And y'all get us. But so before we get into it, Doug, I am happy to have a beer with my motherfucking name on it. It's called Greg. And it's also from one of my favorite breweries up in this Wisconsin bitch. Venture with 2 N's. It is an oatmeal stout. So it's a black beer for a black guy. Hell, it's darker than this black guy is. Little colorism for y'all to start off our show, right, Doug?
Yeah, about that. Awesome.
Yeah, light skin, black nicka. I said it with the K's, y'all. With a dark skin oatmeal stout. And I've never had Greg before. You ever have a Greg before, Doug?
No, but a couple of weeks ago, I did have a Doug beer that Daniel Fisher sent me from Threes.
I did too.
Yeah.
And naturally, this Greg beer is better than a Doug beer. Just saying.
As it should be.
Okay. This is a smooth, milky, wonderful oatmeal stout, y'all. It looks the part. Look at that. Head on it.
Greg's that's the style.
Well, that and Greg's have great head, right? Talking about this, Doug. Stay there. Don't get all weird. But we're gonna get weird because we got, well, Brian's not weird, but I think some people might say he is.
Yeah. He's funny
and
as shit, so that'll be fun.
He's agreeing, so he's embracing this. All right. Doug, do you have a beer that's named after you? And
I do not have one that's named after me, but I picked this up specifically with a few people in mind. I had texted Daniel Fisher before to make sure he'd be on so he could see this. Look at that. It is a Daredevil beer.
Oh, shit.
From KCBC.
Okay. I hear that series is fire. I bet you.
I have never. I think I watched the first 2 episodes of it like way back, and then just never got into it.
I hear the season 2 is just on fire. I see it all over the place. People are screaming and howling about it. So hopefully the beer lives up.
Well, it's an American IPA. So let's see, what was the ABV on it? I didn't see what the ABV was on it.
Right,
7.
Right.
So 7%.
Oh,
that's pretty big for that style of beer.
Well, and you're starting off big. I don't know what the after show is going to be like. When Doug starts big, the after show is colorful.
Yes. So there we go with the nice glass. Looks a nice color though, right?
Sexy glass. Looks
ooh la la! Look at my glass.
Oh, and we're not going to we won't ask our guest what he thinks about your IPA, or maybe we will, because actually, I'm pretty sure we still have his quote.
One of my favorite quotes ever on the show. In 7 years, that's one of my all-time favorite ones. That
literally one of the worst takes ever.
Hey, I can agree with him on a lot of them. That's the thing.
No. Of course. I kidded him then, and we kid now. It's all good.
Yeah, this is pretty hoppy. This would be definitely up your alley, Greg, just for the record. It's a little too hoppy for my taste. I'll
Mm,
drink it, of course, but
mm.
it's very, very hoppy style. So,
So it's a
yeah,
hopped out American IPA. I mean,
yeah.
you
Let me
know,
see what they
a
got
lot
for
of them
the.
are, right?
All right, so they got
But
Centennial, Nelson,
yeah.
Nelson Sauvon, Chinook,
Mhm.
and malted barley in it as well. So
Mm,
it's
okay.
pretty hoppy. So
Too hobby for Doug.
yes, but I wanted to get it because I hadn't seen it. I thought that's pretty cool, and I figured
Mhm,
folks like Victor and Daniel and JHG would really
mhm,
appreciate it.
mhm. Oh, and for the guests, just so you know, we just left this here because it's a take that we've shown it a couple times too since he
Yeah,
hasn't been here. Right, right. So it's the lore that we keep Brian around. So it's great. It's great.
yeah.
Um,
That and the Jackie Summers, that toddler has no friends, is are two of the best quotes we've ever had.
Ooh, and we left that. Oh, okay. So I chastised our guests and didn't give him a chance. We'll give him a chance to respond, but also to make him feel warm, Doug. We will show this one.
Oh
IPA
shit!
like dirt with flowers in it, and he's like,
He's applauding.
"Oh,
Bravo!
right." So we get them all here. We get them all here. I don't know how sober Sean was at that point, but we'll just leave that.
Probably not very, but that's okay.
Yeah, we will. Because if y'all remember when the end of that show was wild and Doug enabled that bullshit, but
I'm good like that.
you literally enabled all that. But anyway, we and I was trying to shut it off. So there you go, y'all. So look at me being what is it? The bad this what is it? What is it? The smother of joy, and Doug was the enabler of joy. So there you go. But Doug, I have no way to segue to this, so I'm going to just let you go, buddy.
Yep. So I'm going to talk a bit about something that was it's a little difficult to talk about because it's my guy. This is my dog Simon. This week we had to help him pass along. I hate the term put down because that sounds like you're just trying to like you're slaughtering cattle or something. I don't know what that bothers me. But that was my buddy. He was this is the cutest Boston Terrier. Just he would smile with these like stupid chiclet teeth when he saw people. He just loved everybody and loved like any dogs he could meet, any cats. He was just super happy to see everybody. We had him for 9 years. He was 16 years old. We adopted him when he was 7, and 9 years of just awesomeness. He had been declining for quite some time. But you know how it is. It's your pet. So sometimes you will just keep dragging it out. But we had a cat previously where we waited way too long, and I didn't want that for him. He at the past year had really just gone pretty far downhill as far as like cognition. Like he wouldn't recognize us sometimes. He'd get lost in the house. He would start. He would shake all the time because he was losing muscle control. Like you see Chihuahuas shake all the time. That's not him. He didn't start doing that until the past couple of years. And yeah, I thank you. I appreciate that, money. So yeah, there was never enough time. But I would take him outside and he would start walking and he would just wipe out because his muscle control was so bad on his front legs. And it was just tough. That was my buddy. Like we had a dog before that dog, she was a gray pitty, and that dog was attached to Jill at the freaking hip. And Simon was much more my dog. And yeah, that was really tough to have to make that call. I don't know how anybody else does. I was talking to Brian beforehand, and what we do is when we have pets pass, we are fortunate enough that we have about a half-acre of land, and what we do is we bury them underneath a tree, a new tree or bush that we buy, and that way that's like a memorial to them. And also, as they kind of go into the soil, their nutrients from them go into the tree or bush, kind of circle of life kind of thing. We think also it gives us a spot to go, and like this morning, we have a problem with deer eating every fucking thing in our yard, and they ate our hedgerow. Greg, you remember our hedgerow? Remember the giant hedgerow we have on the side? And they ate 6 feet off of that, so you could see right through the hedgerow all over this year. So I went out this morning because I wanted to make sure that I got specifically a Norway spruce are supposed to be deer resistant. I just wanted to make sure they were okay. When I was out there, And I went and I said, "Hey Simon, hope wherever you are, you're doing well." Like, it's a way for me to touch base with them. And I cried a lot yesterday. I cried more today. I'll probably cry more as it goes. But what a gift that guy gave me. I love him to death. Bad choice of words there, but you know what I mean. I just love him endlessly. So, R.I.P. Simon. Thanks for 9 fucking incredible years.
Oh, and thanks for a good weekend for me. He was fun as hell. Woke me up all early. That cute little face on the bed. Like he just walked in like he owned the house. Like the door wasn't shut and he would just come in and he was just like, "Yo, what's up, boy? How you doing?" Like, so he was great.
Yeah.
So good times, Doug. Or not good times, sorry. He was good times though. And
Yeah, he was.
really, my way of avoiding this part of owning a pet, respectfully, is not owning a pet. My kids lost a hamster, and I was the biggest stupid mess over that. And I was just like, I just can't do it. Like it was literally I always kind of knew, Doug, that it was always tough for me to lose a pet. But like when my kids lost that hamster and I was more upset than them, I was like, yeah, this pet thing is not great for me. So I'm just not gonna do it. And they were just like, okay, it's cool. And I was like, ugh. And it was just, I mean, I don't want to say just a hamster, if that makes sense. But hamsters live a shorter life. Dogs are definitely more in your life because they're around you all the time, whereas a hamster's in a cage, right? So like there's a different dynamic going on there. But
for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Doug.
I appreciate all of it, everybody. I really do. And Daniel, I'm glad you got to meet him. Greg, I'm glad you got to meet him. He was just the best little guy. So
absolutely.
Thanks for letting me kind of memorialize him a little bit there, because
letting you was kind of wild, but that's a different, we'll just leave that out there. Especially on your platform, letting you. So I do want to shout out Dead Bird Brewing, which is a hat that I have on. Nice. Hopefully I will have more information about Dead Bird Brewing and me soon. Waiting on some things, but we'll talk about that. Got a lot of things going on, Doug, and I'm I can't say some of them. I actually, did I talk about Badger Beer Report's gonna have a homebrew competition of its own? Did I talk about that live?
No, you did not.
Well, we are.
Here we go. Breaking
news. Look for that soon. And it's going to be fun. Y'all know I've finished first place in a homebrew competition recently. And me and I call him my homebrew husband, Doug. We're brewing a beer next weekend. His wife approves that, I'm his homebrew husband. I got verification that it was good. So right. So we'll do all that. So without further ado, Doug, we have one of our favorite repeat guests. This fellow we met at a place where we met, right, Doug? That's where we met, Brian Gordon?
Yeah, for sure. We met about Dad 2.0.
Yes, he is the founder of Foul Language Comics. He also worked at Hallmark. Doug, did you know that?
I did.
We did.
We talked about it on a previous show, by the way.
Well, where was I?
Apparently, you had a few too many beers before we got to that part of the show.
Either that or I have literally no memory in my old age. So it's either one or the other. Probably both. Right. But no, he's a comic. He's a funny guy. At this point, we can call him a friend. And without further ado, we will bring up, Doug, I'll do it so we don't step over each other. Yeah, we will bring up Brian Gordon from Foul Language Comics.
Welcome back.
Hey,
all right. Cheers, man.
Cheers. What's going on, Brian? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just great.
Yeah.
As good as you can be with the world ending. Yes. So what do we have in a glass?
This is a wild, I think it's Wild Turkey 100. Thought I'd be all fancy. I just got these, Usually I just drink out of whatever the hell glass is sitting around. But tonight I thought I'd be all fancy for you guys. I get this, like, so I can be fruity notes, whatever. Yeah, so I thought I'd start with something real strong, and then I've got a just as kind of the antithesis to this is kind of like a wild sour from Distill Brewery. It's not bad. I do like a nice sour beer from time. So it's not bad. I've had better, but yeah. So that's and I have more to go after if get a little too crazy. But I figured I'd start strong, then breathe back down at something a little bit lower.
And we're not going to allow you to drink any IPAs after you said this issue. It's just not going to happen.
Oh no! Twist my arm.
So Brian, are we still there though? Are we still there? We still believe that IPAs are dumb and stupid.
My wife and I have an agreement because my wife loves an IPA, and now this is something. It's just I didn't even realize I was doing where my wife would go out, to a restaurant, bar, whatever, and she would inevitably order either wine or an IPA, and I'd always be like, "Let me try." She's like, "No, don't." And I'm like, "No, just let me just have a sip," and I'd just be like and I'm like, it's just like it always just feels like a gag drink to me, like haha, I made you drink it, just like what, like what, why? And so now my wife, when I'm like, and she's like, no, just don't, no, just don't. And I'm like,
you know what we need to do, Greg? We need to send him some Malort.
Malort.
Oh, he doesn't even know about it. Oh no, what are we doing? Don't listen. Refuse the delivery. Literally refuse it.
Yeah,
it is a Chicago staple.
Oh yes, I know Malort. Yes.
No,
I think I may have had that last time I was in Chicago, and I think I was several drinks in before that was.
I think that's the only way to drink that stuff is to be several drinks.
Yeah, exactly. To be like, oh well, I've had it now. There we go. Check. And
no.
Malort is stupid.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that, right? Yeah. Right.
Sounds like something you would say at the Renaissance Fair. Malort.
So yeah, and we've had a previous guest. We've had many guests that don't like the IPAs either. So yeah, Doug, what's going on?
Hold on. Victor lives in Chicago and he's never had Malort.
He's smart. Victor's one of our smartest alumni ever.
It's true. Yeah. I'm just surprised, being that you're there. Like I figured you would have tried it at some point.
So come to the peer pressure is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Wait. Maybe?
Oh, I want to try that. It might taste terrible. I don't care. I want to try that.
It tastes terrible.
I've heard enough. Now, also, shout out to Jerry. I listened to his Modern Brews and Beats podcast today, and he talked about a basmati rice lager, which I was just fascinated by. So, yeah, that's another beer I'd like. But anyway, sorry for the side tangent there.
No worries. So a fact that I guess I knew, but I didn't know today, doing research on you, Brian, is that you spent 18 years at Hallmark. Is that true?
18 years, yes.
And foul language, kind of like, to me, 18 years at Hallmark, where it's so
disparate.
It feels constraining and it feels constraining, and it feels like one lane. You pop out with foul language because foul language is just so out there generally, and wild, and just a complete different vibe than Hallmark could ever be. How did writing grandmother to grandson cards for 2 decades prepare you for something raw, sometimes profane honesty?
Yeah, it was kind of a a reaction to that in a way. Like if
Okay.
when you have to work within those constraints, or I think I started like a few years before I got the boot from Hallmark, and yeah, I was just like I had my first son, and I was freaking out about the whole thing, and so I was like, well, I can put this in my journal, or I can share this with the world. So I just started sharing with the world, and at the time, the there were Hallmark makes you sign these super onerous, over the top contracts when you get hired, that anything and everything you think of or do or whatever is theirs. So they want to, they don't want to be able to have anybody sue them. Like, no, I came up with that bunny or whatever. So there's like anything you do. So people would always talk about murmurs of like, oh, wait, even if you do something on the side, and Hallmark will come and grab it, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't want them to somehow take ownership of this and some sort of whatever. So my very first comic I did, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this so they can't touch it. So I just, so I put in like, well, I think there's like maybe 8 fucks in the first one. I was just like, where it's a guy trying to clear a toilet. And he's like, fuck. And I'm like, come and get it, Hallmark.
Good luck.
I'm like, it's all yours if you want. And I'm like, I don't think they're, so I just wanted to make it so they can't, that they would be like, no, so I'm like, okay, I just kind of marked it, made it my own, and like, okay, can't go anywhere near it. And it's funny when I look back now where I think again, coming from Hallmark, it was kind of like an overreaction where in the same way, like when my kids like could start swearing or would start, wasn't like, we're like, and now you can swear. And it was just, like every like tween, whatever, it's just like just over the top, just trying to be as profane as they can. And that was kind of me when I started foul language, where I'm like, just write a cartoon. I'm like, this could use some more profanity, maybe. And it was so, and then after a while, I kind of pulled back a little bit and like, okay, not every fucking punchline has to be, like whatever. I'm like, okay. So I cleaned it up over time, but yeah, that was essentially where that came from. So, and now I've gone back the other way, where I'm now getting back into writing books for kids, where I'm just like, like, ooh, I don't want to say, something sucks, because that seems a little too harsh, whatever. So it's weird. So
yeah, to the pendulum swing.
Yeah, and then fast forward another 10 years, and I'll just be like, I'll have lost I'll just be one of those old people that are just like fuck, just sitting around.
I remember when we had the conversation before, and you were talking about when you were just starting Dante Inferno. You were like, part of the problem is like, you've been doing foul language and had a pretty good success. Like, it was a pretty big success, right? And then you're like, so it's kind of like, I want to do other stuff, but it's almost like saying, I really like Thai food. And now they tell you can only eat Thai food. I don't want you to.
Yeah.
You don't remember that conversation at all, Craig?
Yeah. I barely remember yesterday's conversation. So,
I was talking to Greg since he couldn't remember, but I just remember you being, and I understand that. It's almost like you hear people who like the quote one-hit wonder bands, and they're like, I fucking hate playing. Like that song made you famous, even if it was for a short time. Like, that's a gratefulness, but at the same time, I get it. Like, if I had to, let's say I wrote something and it did super well, and everybody only wants me to talk about that, and I'd be like, I have 8,000 other things I can talk about, but you only want, and I have to continuously talk about that one thing. I can see how that would be like a little bit maddening.
Yeah. So it's a sort of thing that it's fun to do something that's just a whole different, like, writing books, and it's kind of like a wimpy kid style book, so which is just very, very different for me, like creatively, versus because when they came to me, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating a previous anecdote or something, but they were like, oh, do you have any book ideas? So I lied and said, like, oh, sure, I have lots of book ideas, and so I went and drank my weight in coffee and came back. I'm like, here's some book ideas. And they're like, okay. And they picked one, and I'm like, okay, write that book. And I was like, oh no. And I'm like, I'm like, oh shit, the way I equate it to is like the cliche of the actor who goes on the audition and they're like, oh, you can ride horses, right? I'm like, oh, I'm quite the equestrian. And then, I'm like, like I've seen a horse, and so it's, when they're like, oh, now write the book. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, how to write a book. So that there was a big learning curve, but thank God the editors were like, oh no, you need to spell and use punctuation and all sorts. I'm like, oh, sorry. So, but yeah, now I'm currently working on my third, and I just got word today that the first one is selling well. So hopefully there'll be more books after that. So that's my whole career is just kind of like, ooh, I'll do that. So
well, I know Doug's going to have a follow-up on this one because I know him personally and I've heard him talk about this. But how do you balance sharing your family's private crap fests, as I've heard say, moments while respecting your kids' privacy as they get older? And Doug can talk about this. He's going to have a good follow-up for this one. I know that.
You have a lot of confidence in me, but okay.
Well, Doug, you've talked about this a gazillion times about, you already talked about
I have, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the good news, bad news is that gun to my kids' heads, they wouldn't read my stuff if I tried to make them. So it's easy. It's easy enough to write about them, and we're like, it's not like they're gonna wake up the next morning like, ooh, what did Dad write? It's like, it's the sort of thing where I remember I had this moment where my son was in the basement, and I think I was working on Dante, and I was just like, I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm working on this thing. You want to see the thing? I've got this whole, and he's like, no, I do not. Not even to be polite. I'm like, I've got this whole new thing I'm excited about. Want to see what I'm working on? It's like, no, I don't. I'm like, okay, well, I wouldn't say I appreciate your honesty, but I guess that it's kind of a virtue. So, but that said, my stepdaughter does follow me on Instagram, begrudgingly, and one of four. And if she weighs in, it'll just be a fact check where where she'll like write, and it'll be I remember this one time where she was like, okay, so that did happen, but this is kind of a basic joke. Don't you think you could have added something more to the, what I'm like, okay. I'm like, you just repeated what we said. That's, and I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Or,
that's the humor of it.
Yeah. Or she's an amazing artist herself. So it'll be a critique of the work, or a verse. So, so it's, it's one thing when strangers tell you you suck, but it's another thing when I'm like, hey, we just ate dinner. It's like, it's just a whole new level of like, I'm like, ow, whatever. So, but for the most part, the kids just completely. I had a book signing recently, and I'm like, you want to go? And they're like, are you kidding? Or I'm like, no, I think I'm not wanting to that day, I guess. But I'm busy not wanting to do that day. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. So it's easy enough to write about the kids and not have to worry about it getting back to them. The only time they ever find out is if by chance, it's usually like a friend's parent might see it and be like, oh, I see your friend Ike did blah blah blah, and he'll say something to him, and then my stepson will come back to me and like, hey, I'm like, oh, sorry. So, but yeah, there's no, they could be following me every day, but you know, it's just no one's less cool than me, so they, yeah, no, it's easy.
Do they know the popularity of foul language at all? Like, do they understand how popular that is?
Yeah, but I think they, like, when the kids were real young, they used to like come to be like, so we're like famous, right? And I'm like,
the duck you is.
yeah, I'm like, kinda. I'm like, so they thought that was kind of cool for a minute, and then they completely got over it, and then they just kind of, now they ignore me and the ducks and whatever, and they've just kind of blocked it out of their mind, you know. And yeah, it's the sort of thing, like, I'm sure, and I'm not acquitting myself with the Beatles, but I'm sure, like, you know, Paul McCartney's kids, you know, at some point were like, la 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 la, you know, like the Beatles, like, hey, your dad, like,
Doug is already like that.
yes, like, no, yeah, exactly. This is the last thing in the world I want to hear about, is like, yeah, my dad's a god, blah blah blah, you know. So I'm like, yeah, that's, my kids have an easy enough time ignoring my work. So yeah.
So your newer work, Teenage Wasteland, shifts to older kids' years. So what's been a bigger shock to your system? The sleep deprivation of toddlers or the psychological warfare of teenagers?
The toddler, I mean, it was so new to me that I think it was just like, oh my God. Where it's funny now, like, you know, you kind of build up like a callus around your heart, so to speak, just, you know, from the abuse that you get from your kids. But it's funny, like, I used to be so terrified of, like, you know, like, oh, before I had kids, like, the idea of being around teenagers, like, oh, they're scary, whatever. But now, like, I had to go into, I gave a presentation to, I got called in to do they're like, oh, we want you to come talk to some middle school about your new book series. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I thought I'd be talking to a classroom or something, but then it ended up being an assembly where it was like, oh. So I'm like on a stage talking to like 300, you know, like kids. I'm like,
no.
Wow. I'm like, this is I did not know I was giving like this grand talk, but the thing that helps, you know, where I've become fearless in a way, I'm like, oh, you don't know how hardened I've become to, like, my teens hurt me every day, and I'm like, and I love them. like there's nothing you guys can do to me that can hurt me. Like, I've been hurt countless times over. So yeah, it's like the new psychological torture, I say. It's like, you the crazy thing is, like, when you bring home a baby, like, I was just saying, like, you've never known love, like, you know, this is just a whole new love, you know, you just level up on like how much you can love something, and then later on, when your kids are in their teens, they just reject you, and it's like, oh, you never know how much something can hurt. Like, is they just pull that away from you, and like, oh God. So I've been assured that by the time they're in their late 30s or so, then the things are going to turn around. They'll come back. But yeah, it's hard. It, like, oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, still, I had a moment when I think my kid was not even a month old, and we went out, my then wife and I, and we were just at a restaurant. I was sitting outside because my son wouldn't stop screaming. And I was just like sitting there, like, reevaluating my life decisions. And this woman walks by with a teenager, And she stops and like, oh my God, how old? And I'm like, oh, he's like 13 days old or whatever. And like, oh, that's great. Like, enjoy it while you can because it just gets worse. And I'm like, oh my, oh, fuck you so much. It's like, it's kind of like if somebody got to a car accident and somebody's like, are you okay? Well, enjoy this moment because rehab is going to be horrible. Ha ha. It's like, what the? Like, what is that? That's your pep talk is like, enjoy the misery you're in now. So, and I would love to find her just to throttle her, like whatever, 18 years later. But yeah, it's the sort of thing like, it's still, at least my kids now let me sleep. So there's not that sleep deprivation thing. I get that going for me. So at least there's that. That's, they aggravate me in different ways, but at least, I don't have to get up every 3 hours to feed them, which is nice. I can hear them when they get up and they're wandering around getting potato chips or whatever they're getting in the middle of the night. But at least I don't have to like force the potato chips in their mouth and they throw up on me and whatever. That's those days are behind us at least.
I would like to say that the toddler age is the worst fucking age. I fucking hate it. Fucking hated it so fucking much because especially when toddlers are mobile and they are just hell bent on fucking hurting themselves. So you're just like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to have to fucking walk around the fucking house the entire time, making sure you don't kill yourself or
putting everything in their mouth.
But like, I have one kid. You ever see those? Those things for a while. They were candle warmers. You would take a giant candle and you put it in. It would melt the whole candle, so it's like really fragrant. My son took that and looked at it and then dumped it on his head, and just I was like, Jesus Christ! Like that was what, and he was like 18 months old. He didn't fucking. He's like, what is this? Is it a drink? And he was like, I was like,
yeah. I had recently my dog. Thank God, I had some random electronic whatever sitting up the side, and he chewed the electrical cord. But it was unplugged. It was just off to the side.
Okay.
But that, thank goodness. But my son, when he was, 2-ish, I just remember he was just like one of those moments where you're just sitting there like, oh my God. And you're like, oh, it's been 20 seconds since we saw him. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? And then my son is under like a little side table and he's just like with the lamp cord, like, huh? And you're like, no, no. We don't shoot. I'm like using your 4 teeth to try and work through this like a lamp cord. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. So
yeah, there's another one where it's same kid, by the way, and this kid is now he's almost 19. He's the most level, logical kid I have, and that's just the way it is. Well, I have 2 kids that are very level and logical. He's one of them. But when he was a kid, he was just into every fucking thing. He was just fearless. And those are the worst kids. Like, great, you're fearless, but you're fearless at an age when you should be very much full of fear because you don't know how anything works.
No.
And so
it don't work that way.
Like, we were remodeling our dining room, and basically what we were doing is we were painting it and we were putting flooring in. And I had the fucking socket covers off, and I had just taken off. I set the screwdriver down. I went to go get some. He had picked up the screwdriver, and he was getting ready to jam it right in the fucking socket. And I screamed at him. I'm like, no! And he was like, whoa, this panicked. And I'm like, oh. Listen, teenagers are their own kind of thing, but they're just trying to figure shit out. I was a teenager. I understand. I was like, why are my hormones bouncing around at 500 miles an hour and I don't understand how anything works? Yeah. And my parents feel like they're oppressing me when they're really just trying to make sure I'm okay. But I don't understand that. I'm a mess. So like I was a mess as a fucking 15-year-old. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So like I'd rather have that. I'd rather deal with the nonsense of that than actively chasing your kid around to make sure they don't kill themselves fucking for 15 hours a day. Yeah. Like it was terrible for me. I don't know, Greg, your opinion, because you got kids too. What did you think? Did you think toddlers are worse or teenagers are worse? Or adults, or adults.
Toddlers were worse. And I had the extra layer of like trying to teach and homeschool these. It was Especially so, Brian. I have and this is great because, as I said in the comments, they'll never see this, even though they have full time. So I'm going to talk some trash, right? So my youngest was the hardest.
Sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
My youngest was the hardest person to teach, and I've told him this all the time. But Brian, he turned out to get a perfect in his ACT in math. So that is amazing because that was rough. Okay, and he would do anything and everything to distort any kind of progress. It felt like, right? And then when it was time for him to do the ACT, though, like you could literally see all those things that I was trying to teach him. He actually heard it. So it was wild to have that result. Yeah. And it's weird because y'all know you don't ever get feedback from being a parent. You don't ever get much feedback, especially from them. They're going to be the last people to give you positive feedback about anything. Okay. So if you're old and they're like, Dad, I just want to hug you, you need to take that as like you just won the Olympic Games. Because it doesn't work that way, right?
Yeah, it's here.
So if you don't mind, I would love to segue to something that I feel that you almost a serious thing that I feel that you are I admire a lot about you, Brian. I have a question here. So you've been very open about the anxiety and self-doubt that fuels your work. And does a massive supportive online community help quiet those voices, or does it add pressure being relatably miserable? I love that word. Right? So yeah, where does that balance? Is there a balance, or is it just one or the other, or how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, it's nice to like just to go back where I felt like so alone when I first started writing foul language. Like I felt, like so many people who are all up in their feelings and going crazy, where I felt like, okay, everyone else is good at having kids. Everybody else's kids love them. Or I just like, I'm the only guy in the world who sucks at this. And I was just losing my mind. And I remember at one point, like Googling at the time, like, can dudes have postpartum? Because this, and I'm like, I know I didn't give birth to him, but I'm like, all this stuff I hear about, like women losing their minds. I'm like, this guy. And at the time, the only thing I could find was like, hey, are you a dude who thinks he has postpartum? You should come on our TV show. It was like some like thing like we want to have you on. Some Maury Povich, like I'm like, and now these three freaks, like so we hear you're a bad father. It's like,
how do you respond?
Yeah, and you're a sissy. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wow, all right. What do we say, audience? Boo! Take his kids away. I'm like, okay. So that was like the only resource, and things have thankfully gotten, like I see stuff now where like, oh, these support groups, whatever. So that's great. And I was sitting next to this guy at work at the time who was just like, it was comically over the top, where his first kid came like a month before ours, and he was just so one-upmanshipy. So it would we would come in and be like, so is Max, is he crawling yet? Whatever. And it's like, oh no, not yet. I'm like, oh really? Because our kid is actually in gymnastics. He can do a perfect backflip. I'm like, oh, that's great. He's doing handsprings. It's amazing. But that's fine that your kid can't crawl. Not all kids know how to crawl. It was like, so everything was just like, you suck, your kid sucks. You if you were a better parent, maybe your kid would be able to whatever. And I remember at one point just having to like the kid, he just wouldn't, couldn't walk. It is just couldn't figure that shit out. And I was just, again, losing my mind. And I remember having to I'm like, I don't know, maybe he's just not a bright enough guy. Maybe I'm a bad parent. I don't know. And then I'd be like, look, okay, think of the dumbest guy you know. Think of like the dumbest guy you've ever met. He knows how to walk, right? Like he probably has figured out how to walk. I'm like, so your kid will learn how to walk at some point. I mean, even if he, never gets a scholarship or a job, he's going to learn how to walk. I'm like, okay, he's going to learn how to walk, whatever. And so just when I got around to doing the comic, like just seeing all these people like, oh, my kid doesn't know how to walk either. And oh my God, it was like, yeah, I'm like, right. So it's just nice to like discover this community of people who are just insecure or self-loathing or just, felt like everybody else is doing this better than them. It was just like creating your own little community of people, like, and I just remember like writing some cartoons where I was just like, I'm like, this seems kind of mean, but I feel this in my heart. I'm like, but people know it's a joke, and like, people are gonna hate me, and I just put it out, and it just like one of the cartoons, like, oh, everybody loves this one. I'm like, oh, okay, oh yes, so everybody realizes it's a joke and be like, yeah, okay, it's a dark joke, but we all feel this. Yeah, kids do fucking suck, when you're just trying to run an errand or pick up some milk or get through a Target run for whatever without, just losing your mind. And so, yeah, so that it was great to find the community. So yeah, it's been wonderful. And I've, fortunately enough, I've built up enough of a callus to, I've been told like, you suck, die, stop doing what you're doing enough, that I'm like, blah, 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 so mostly the haters that I find online now, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. There's, I'm able to ignore the praise enough that I don't get a big fat head, and I can ignore the haters enough that I don't want to just stop, so it just try and, stay in my lane. Like, okay, yeah, if I believed you, I would, my head would explode. And if I believed you, my head would explode. So it's just like, I just have to, stay in the middle somewhere and try and keep making stuff. So,
yeah. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Cheers.
Doug, anything, buddy?
I totally get the thing is like, when you are in the trenches of it when you're little, I get it. Like, women feel this too. They feel like they're kind of on an island. Like, I'm doing this all, like, nobody feels like this, right? I feel like I'm fucking everything up, and like, like the people that think they're doing great at parenting when you have really super little kids are not doing much parenting. To be very clear, they're not doing shit. They're having their partner do all the work, and they're just like, this is great. If you're not in the trenches, if you're not doing the work, and your thoughts of being like, am I a bad dad? You know what? That's born of empathy. You understand, like, you are trying to do the right thing, and it's not going quite as you expected. You're helping your partner because your partner's having a hard time too. And if you have the right partner, which you and I are both divorced, so first round wasn't really the right partner for that, but like, you're in the you're trying to be empathetic and trying to do the right thing. Like I said, if somebody, when your kid is like 6 months old, like everything's fucking great, then you are not doing shit. Like, I really feel like that guy being like, oh, my kid's doing gymnastics. That guy is a fucking douchebag at home. I fucking guarantee that 100%, because he's probably making his wife get up all the time. He's probably not changing diapers. Yeah. Like if you're in the middle of it, and you're doing what you should do, and you're sharing duties, you'd be like, I got tonight, you sleep. Like, if you're sharing duties, everybody feels like shit, and you all feel like you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you're doing it well, you're fucking not doing anything. That's my thought.
Yeah. And what I also found is that the same guy that was just like, oh, my kid is like, how many words does your kid have? Because we're actually teaching our kid Mandarin now, like whatever, just like, like whatever, like, so that those guys, like, I went over their house, they just be like, this is ridiculous. So we would like, oh, you should come over. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I want to witness myself. And I just went over, the kid like, their kid sucks. You know, I just watch this just run around and like, you know, like eating furniture and shit. I'm like that kid. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, okay, I'm like, and I'm like, okay, my kid's annoying, but it's not that annoying. So it was like, you know, seeing it in person versus like hearing the shit people would say. It's like, okay, at least I'm honest about my kid. I'm like, you're just shoveling it. I'm like, this is, you know, that's yeah. I mean, I love my kids. I would die for my kids. But you know, I'll be the first one to be like, "Oh no, that's fucking bullshit." Like, you know, like, you know. So anybody, anybody who's, you know, and I will sing my kids' praises as, you know, like, and there's a lot to praise, but you know, there's a lot to complain about too. So if you're one of those people that's just, you know, that's only in it to try and like, you know, if you're, you know, trying to treat your kids as like a keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing, and like, oh, like, what are you driving nowadays, Brian? Like, oh, fuck it, you know, like one of those people. Like no, it's like, yeah, you love your kids, I love my kids, but like, don't try to, you know. And now we're getting into I have two 18-year-olds now who are both seniors, and so now the thing I'm seeing is, you know, like, if we go out, people are like, so what schools have your kids gotten into? And it's like, I'm like, shut up. Like, just, you know, and just this sort of like, you know, and my kids are still trying to figure it out. And, you know, I have one kid who's gonna be an EMS. He's taking like a summer class, you know, and like, and the other kid is, you know, crushed his ACTs, and yet, you know, he's had ADHD and I don't know, might be a little spectrumy, I don't know, but he's just struggled with regular school, so his grades suck. He's brilliant, but his grades suck, so he's trying to figure out his thing, and he's a great kid and he'll figure it out. But you know, it's like, so when the people are like, so what sort of scholarships are you dealing with? I'm like, stop that. Just stop. You know, this one-upmanshipy bullshit. You know, it's like, you're not your kid. Okay. So don't stop, you know, like trying to pull that. Don't be started.
All right, old man yells at cloud. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of,
well, old man might yell at what I have here, which is a cold IPA from Youngblood.
Youngblood's here, guys.
Yeah, Youngblood. Shout out to Chelsea for giving me this. This is called No One Is Taking Me Seriously in This Bucket Hat. So,
what a name.
Youngblood has literally the best names ever. This is a cold IPA with a bunch of hops that Brian probably hates, but it's all good because it's fresh, it's clean, and it's crisp. Doug, what do you got?
All right, I have been saving this, and the fact that Brian's here, and I feel like that's a celebratory thing, but I'm also sad because of my dog. So I have been saving this from a Belgian brewery in upstate New York that I think is fabulous. It's
God.
It's Brewery Ardennes. Ardennes. Okay. So this is a Scotch ale.
It looks like it's a big bottle there.
It is. That's why this will be my last beer of the evening. So, but this is a Scotch ale aged in Lafroig barrels, which is one of my favorite scotches. Like, I don't know how the fuck they got Lafroig barrels, but that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I pulled out the big guns.
Yeah.
So
when did you get that, Doug? Have you been sitting on it for a little bit, or?
Yeah, I've had this for about 6 months.
Do you remember the price?
I think it was $20 because it's aged on Scotch barrels from Scotland. So I bought two of them. I bought two of them. So I have one in my cellaring fridge. This was just in my regular fridge. So I'm trying to look and see if they have like an ABV on this thing. Weirdly,
was it stored up or on the side?
It's all stored up anymore. You can stop asking that question because I stopped doing that 5 years ago.
I'm never gonna stop.
So this somehow is only 6.5%. Which I figured, being aged in a Scotch barrel.
Yeah. Usually I would have thought that'd be like, it's 17%, whatever.
Right.
Ooh, maybe look at the smoke coming off.
Okay. All right, man.
Oh, that smells lovely. So we are going to put this in a giant barrel and flow glass.
It wasn't $2. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ.
How much for an order of ribs? Sorry.
$2. What? How many? One rib. How
I
many?
want one rib. Just give me one rib. I show I'm hungry.
How many?
Look how dark that is, though. That's a nice aggressive pour.
Oh, look at that glass. I'm not even going to touch that subject. We'll leave that for later because I'm not even trying to go there or that rabbit hole. I'm not even.
Oh my word!
So too good, eh?
That is fucking excellent.
There you go.
It is
a good beer for a good occasion.
And being 6.5, I am totally shocked that that's what that is. But like, it's like a lightly smoked Scotch ale. Like, Greg, that I mean, if you like a Scotch ale, I love Scotch ales.
Oh yeah,
it's like a
lightly smoked one is even better.
Yeah. So cheers. What is your Brian? Have you had any smoked beers?
I don't know that I have.
We gotta get you. We gotta get.
Maybe
we should send him some, Doug.
I think we should send him some beers.
Yeah, we should.
You know,
not IPAs though. We're not sending him any IPA.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
or we're sending him for his wife. Maybe his wife will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she would.
Right, he can always. Right.
He can point them off.
Yeah,
right. And Brian's a male, so you know that his wife is his better half. That's just the way that works. So, right. So we gotta treat her too, Doug. So we're gonna do something for you, Brian. We'll hook you up.
That's fine. You know, it's funny. I was watching some YouTube videos on I think Scotch or bourbon, and they had somebody was like, "Ooh, this is how you do a smoke infused whatever." Where there was like some little cap you put on, you pour the bourbon in over the, and then you put like this cap, and then you put like little wood chips in, and then you flame, then the smoke. And I'm like,
is it one like those smoke guns? So it looks like a little tube.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, this seemed kind of gimmicky. I'm like, I don't know if that does anything, but I'm like, or if I have the palate to be like, la-di-da, whatever. But I don't know. It's the sort of thing that I would probably gladly do it if I was at like a fancy bar or something. Like, oh yes, no, please do the whole presentation, yada yada. But
did you know my kid is speaking Mandarin now?
Yeah, exactly. Versus like me and my wife watching Netflix, and she's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Go in the other room and put the wood chips in." And then I'm like, no, just grab me a beer out of the fridge, honey. That'd be great.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, it's
question for you, Brian, down there.
Yes. They reached out to me back in the day. You know, I just got like a random email asking if I would like to come out, and that was delightful. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. So many of my lucky breaks have been just people finding me, or me just blundering into things. I was talking to somebody just yesterday about this. Whenever I talk to like a baby cartoonist, writer, whatever person who's trying to, and they're like, how do I do what you do? And I basically I break it down to 3 factors, which is talent, tenacity, and luck. Without all 3 of those things, you're screwed. So, and just being lucky enough to stumble into the right breaks when I got them, whether it's somebody reaching out or opening up checking my spam folder and like, what the, and like, oh, actually that's a real thing. That's an offer for whatever. And so it was delightful to kind of get tied into the Dad 2.0 community and, meet a lot of these great people, etc. So that's been wonderful. So
excellent. Well, we're going to segue to a little bit something different for Brian. And we'll do that right here, right? So we'll let Brian tell us how he got here, but one of the things that kind of intrigued me, at least, is you branch out a little bit into the social construct and the politics here. And I know Doug is really interested in talking about these, but if you wanted to, so how do we jump off from foul language to really getting political here? Because I actually want to read this one caption and I'll just tee you up. But so hey, good job at the No Kings rally. Since we've never had a king, ha ha ha. He thinks he's being funny, and well, he's not. Yeah, it's a clumsy name, but I would have called it the Impeach the Pedo Protecting Adjudicated Rapist Rally. But no one asked me. So then I love this next panel. Well, what are we doing with our wait, what were we doing with our neighbor? Well, judging by the way he stormed off, I'd say that was our last conversation. Couldn't you just say you're sorry? I could. Could I? Yes. Will I? No. So before we get to the social commentary of this, is this you releasing some energy where we probably wouldn't be able to with the foul, because it's definitely not in the foul language, obviously, and it's certainly not Hallmark.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to work adjudicated rapists into a birthday card, I find.
Correct. But no lies.
Happy Adjudicated Rapist Day.
Yeah, on Hallmark, and we're going to celebrate that. So clearly,
maybe they'll make a movie too.
Clearly this is you, expressing personal feelings. And where do we find these comics? Because I know if I put in foul language, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find that. So tell us where we find it, and tell us where, obviously the origin is what the origin is, but give us the whole background on this, because again, it's a different framing than everything else that we put out. By we, I mean you.
I've been posting for the last few years on tinyview.com, which is great because they actually, you can see the little URL there. Years ago, the owner of TinyView reached out to me. He's like, hey, if you want to start posting your comics on my site, I'll cut you in for, X percentage of what I eventually sell the site for someday, whatever. And I was like, that sounds great, but I need to eat now. And I'm like, And then years later, he came back. It's like, hey, I will pay you for every comic you do. And I'm like, tell me more. And so I started doing that. And it came at a point where Facebook and Instagram and the whole metaverse started throttling the hell out of my comics, which means that right now I have, between Facebook and Instagram, I have about 1 million-ish fans, which is great. But unless I pay Zuckerberg literally thousands of dollars per post, only 0.00 something of those fans ever get to see the comic, because that's just the business model that they've come up with. And if I was a massive corporation, I was trying to get the word out on the new Crystal Pepsi flavor or whatever, then maybe I have thousands of dollars to throw at a post. But as a independent creative person, if I tried to do that, I would go broke within a week. So I'm like, that's impossible. I'm like, what I would make on I paid $10,000 so somebody could see my funny duck cartoon. It's like, you can't pay the bills with LOLs. So so I started posting over there. As for why I'm doing more political stuff, I don't know. I'm a bit of a news junkie, and I follow it too close. And as they say, if you're not mad, you're not paying attention. And I just, I am paying attention, and I try, there's nothing funny about anger, and so I try not to just be, this sucks, so I'm like, okay, if I'm going to say something, I want to, try and like the second panel, try and do some little funny twist on it. So it's not just rant. But at the same extent, it's like, not that I imagine in a million years that, like my silly cartoons are going to make a difference. But at the same extent, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to, for what it's worth, I'm just going to throw my voice out there to the zeitgeist and be like, yeah, make it just one more soul out there who says, yeah, you're not crazy. If you're also mad about this, you're not crazy. And yeah, me too. Yeah, this also makes me mad, so here's a little something you'd be like, yeah, no, what that guy said, for, just another drop in the ocean in the big scheme of things. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is the idea of, so like you and I are, well, I'm making an assumption here. We're straight, white, cis, hetero men.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm making an assumption on the straight. No offense. I'm just saying we shouldn't assume.
Yeah. No.
That's me.
Yes.
But our voices should be doing this kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
the marginalized folks shouldn't be doing. They should to their own extent, whatever they're comfortable, because they're the folks being targeted by all the shit that's going on,
Yeah.
right? So, like, I know you went to I'm not talking out of pocket here, but I believe you guys went to a No Kings rally and you did all that stuff. And you guys you're very vocal outside of your comics.
Yeah.
And that's good. And we need to be as vocal as we can. Because the folks that are in danger can't speak up. They should, because the problem is as soon as you, like, it's almost like the if you stick your head up, it's whack-a-mole, and they're like, oh, you're someone who looks brown. You spoke up. We can find you, and they can find any fucking buddy now.
Yeah.
Thanks to Palantir and all that shit that's going on in the government, and just there's a million things I can go on a tangent about this, and I could talk about this all fucking day, because like you, I'm a little too much of a news junkie. I feel like if you're not paying attention, then you're missing stuff, and we shouldn't miss stuff. We need to be witness to it. It's similar to the stuff that happens in, like, right now it's Iran, but before it's Palestine. Like, there are things you need to pay attention to, because you need to bear witness to it, even if it's really uncomfortable for you. That is a point. You are uncomfortable because it's not happening to you. Those folks are experiencing that shit every day, all day.
Yeah.
And you should, if you can make your voice heard and you can enunciate it and let it be out. On the show, I've talked many times about just how fucked I think a lot of things are. Like, just like, and is that going to affect me? Yeah, the worst that'll happen to me is I might get fired from my job, which would totally suck, because then I can't afford to pay things. But other people have way more at stake.
Yeah,
their actual freedom is fucking at stake. So, like, when you're posting stuff like that, I'm going to get to a point here, I promise. When you're posting something like that is you're giving voice to stuff that needs to be given voice to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to frame it in how I'm looking at the thing that I look at with that I cannot forgive Trump voters for. And I'm saying Trump voters because Trump voters are responsible. They're the responsible motherfuckers. They put this shit in plan. They voted for it. And, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you fucking did. You voted for every bit of it. If I voted for Obama or whomever, I voted for everything Obama did. Like, even if I disagree with some of it, and I very much did disagree with some things that he did. But if you are voting for it, you own it. And I just feel like I completely lost my point. Thanks. So, all right, 70 million jackasses. But I just feel like if we're not making our voices heard on that, then what are we doing?
No,
what are we doing?
Yeah, I have a friend here in my little tiny college town, and he's Mexican from, at least in ethnically, that's where his family's from. He was born in America, natural citizen. His kids are, 100% legal. And yet, he's as fired up as I am, or more so. And excuse me, every No Kings rally, I put out the word to our little group of left-leaning friends here, like, hey, is anybody going to be showing up to the thing? And every time he's like, hell no. He's like, I don't feel safe. I don't want my kids getting picked up. I don't like.
Totally understand that.
Yeah, it's like, like, I'm afraid just, like my kid going to the gym or whatever, just like, who knows what's gonna happen, like, oh, hey, that kid looks a little too brown for this, like town.
Mhm.
And it's just like, yeah, no, it's like, I appreciate it, fight the good fight, but I am like, no, I can't take the risk. It's not the like, yeah, I want to, like, want to be there and support versus like, do I want to, I didn't have my passport or my birth certificate on me at this thing, so now I'm whatever. I didn't have my papers on me, so it's like I can't be at that. So I'm like, okay, I have the I don't know, the privilege or the whatever of just white skin, pale white skin, whatever. It's like no one's gonna assume I'm Latino, so I'm not black, I'm not Latino, whatever. Like, so I'm less likely statistically to be picked up by ICE agents, by whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be out there, doing my tiny itsy bitsy microscopic, like whatever, if somebody else can't, so, I actually had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine who has a black wife, and she is very left-leaning. She's a academic, and yet she's like within her like community of like like black friends, like academics, whatever. They're like, no, we and it was really interesting to get her perspective from my friend, where it's like, yeah, no, we black voters have turned out every time. Like, we were there, we showed out in force, and like black women, we voted. Like, you fucking white people, like, you drop the goddamn, especially you white men, drop the goddamn ball. So like, now is you like, and if we go out, we're more likely to be arrested than you are. So like, yeah, we did our part. Now if you want to go out and march, like that's on you guys, because we already like we did our part. Now like, this is on you. And I'm like, fair, like so I'm happy to go out and wave my little clever like poster board or whatever, knowing that it's very unlikely that I'm going to get arrested versus like somebody of color. So anyways.
It's just the idea of like I said, the idea of like being able to go and make your voice heard is important. But it is, like you said, there's people who are like, I don't feel safe. And
yeah,
I have a kid who's trans, and my in-laws, who have voted for Trump 3 times, were like, you should come to Florida. And my son was like, no. He's like, and he goes, I don't feel safe. And they're like, well, we'll protect you. You're both in your late 70s. What protection are you going to offer? Like, they are not safe there. That's just not how it works. So it's just weird that like they are just like, everything will be fine. But yeah, you froze up for a second there, but basically that's okay. But like he was just like he was just trying to be like, I don't want to come there because I am not safe in that state. The thing is, we were at a point where states, you have to be super careful where you go and travel, because like they're now wanting to like, I mean, they've been trying to, it's just like they want to get in your phone. That's why you take all your fucking biometric shit off your phone. You never put your thumbprints, don't do any of that shit. Because if you say I won't let you my phone, they will take your fucking thumb and stick it on your phone so they can see what you just talk about. That is really fucked up. That's Gestapo shit. That is exactly what that is. So like, it's just kind of fucked. And like I said, I was trying to make a point about fucking Trump, and the problem is there's too many goddamn it's like Hydra on steroids. Everything goes all over the
Yeah.
place. And it's all the, hey, flood the zone. Let's just make you distracted with everything. So we don't talk about the real problem, which is the Epstein files, because those motherfuckers are like the class of people who are all involved in that is like every other country outside of us is like, this is a real problem. And they're prosecuting people. And we are like, la da 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 da.
Yeah. No,
And while I was happy Pam Bondi got the boot, he put Trump's personal fucking defense attorney in a like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I'm as happy to see Pam Bondi go as the next guy, but it's for me, it feels like if you're like, let's say you were in a swamp and like a mosquito happened to be biting you a lot, and you're like, bam, oh, I gotcha. And like, I'm like, oh, well, it's just like, okay, that's one, but there's a million other. It's not like oh, problem solved. It's like, no, there's a million more where she came from who are unaware that they're going to be thrown under the bus, just like she was, just like fucking Gnome was. Just like, yeah, it's anyways, yeah, rant.
So here's our comic here.
Yeah. Well, it's a protest about lots of things, really, but mostly we're sitting together in solidarity against cruelty, corruption, and bigotry. And it's helping. It's too soon to know for sure, but it's a good sign that we're annoying all the worst people.
Oh, the worst people.
Yes. Can I make some signs? You have no idea how many things I can be upset about at any given moment. And yeah, that's the sort of thing that, again, with the protest thing where, I see all the people like, well, what'd you do? Like, and essentially at the end of the day, it's like, what do protests do? And I'm like, I don't know. What did the civil rights movement do? What did, what did, like the any number of, substantial protest movements do? And it's sort of thing like, okay, you go out there, you're a number. There's sadly a giant demographic of people who aren't paying attention. And if they hear that 8 million people are out there who are upset about something, they might like, oh, they're upset. Like, what are they upset about? I've been watching, reality TV or whatever, or just I've been too busy with my job and my life and my kids. Like, what is happening with the world and the politics that I don't really pay attention to? And, it's the sort of thing like you're there peacefully protesting. And, if, your senator, your congressman, whatever, just happens to see like, wait, how many thousands of people were marching? Oh, maybe I need to pay attention and know that I'm not going to get reelected again unless I pay attention to these voters, etc. But yeah, being out there waving my cute little poster board, no, that immediately doesn't do anything. It's not like I go out and like, no kings, and then like problem solved. No, but it's like, it's the long game. That's why we're out there. So
yeah, it's cumulative, right?
Yeah.
So I remember the point I wanted to make is the thing that I don't know if you can say the thing. So I said Trump voters are the problem here. They're the ones that voted this in. They own it. The one thing I will never forgive Trump voters for is taking away my empathy for them. I have, and this sucks because people that are getting out of it, they're starting to see like, oh shit, this is really fucking bad. I have no landing space for them. And the thing is, white male cis guys should be the landing space because they look at us and be like, that's a safe space because they're white guys.
Yeah.
And I just don't have it. Like, I don't know how to look at you and go, you fucking idiot. We've been telling you this for 10 fucking years, 11 at this point. But why did you not get it?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, if you're yelling at somebody and telling them you're a fucking idiot, that doesn't help them. But I just have so little empathy for them to be able to sit there and be like, well, I didn't know. Okay, listen, I get it. The thing is we have things like we have social media, we have news. News is almost predominantly owned by right-wing folks now. Yeah. Almost predominantly. There's very little spaces where it's liberal, like things like Blue Sky and and CNN sometimes, but very rarely. But like all of it's being owned by right. So these people are like, well, the mainstream media, they can't do that anymore. The mainstream media is owned all by right wing folks.
Yeah.
So these folks are getting fed a steady diet of nonsense. Like the idea that our president is getting a fucking 2-minute video every morning of all the highlights of a war he started in Iran, which he called an excursion.
Excursion, not an incursion.
An
excursion.
He's the dumbest motherfucker. Just the idea he thinks asylum seekers are people from insane asylums. Like he just thinks the dumbest shit. That guy has syphilis in the brain, and I just my one friend, I call him the bloated sack of syphilis because that's what he is to me. But just the idea that like we are being led by he is the dumbest president we've ever had. And that's saying something because we had George W. Bush. That guy was dumb as fuck. And he's dumber by an order of magnitude. And he puts the dumbest people in charge of things.
Yeah. It's I was reading this article in the Atlantic just yesterday, and because my memory is for shit, I can't remember the specific term, but they were saying that basically there was some term that was coined apparently like 100 years ago that describes Trump to a T, and that it isn't, Trump isn't an autocracy, because an autocracy is closer to like Nazi Germany, and and this would be the pull quote: "Say what you will about Nazi Germany."
Oh my God. If you're starting your quote with that, then I don't want to hear whatever the else.
I mean, he has some good. I mean, like people say about Hitler. No.
Have you read Mein Kampf? Yeah, you had some good points. Jesus.
Yeah, no. The thing. Wait to the end of the sentence. Say what you will about the Nazis. They were organized. They had their, they had their
ran on time.
They had their org chart figured out. So they were like, okay, you're in charge of doing this shitty thing. You're in charge of doing this shitty thing. You're in charge of doing this shitty thing. Whereas the Trump method, of which also falls under like Orban and Modi, like India, Hungary, whatever, is that they are just like, okay, I'm just fucking around. I'm a charismatic leader who's just fucking around, and I'm corrupt and incompetent. But I use the language of I'm bright enough to know that if I use the language of like, oh, I'm doing corrupt things for freedom, and like, well, I like freedom, like, yeah, like, no, I'm incompetent for democracy. I'm like, oh, democracy's good, so it's the sort of thing where they just kind of coach all this, and essentially the takeaway was like, oh, we just have to. If you try and get mad at them, if you Democrats, there are sadly our feckless Democrats are like democracy at stake, where people take democracy for granted, and they like, if you try and sell democracy at stake, people are like, yeah, it's like trying to tell people that the sun's not going to come up tomorrow. People are like, it's fine. But if you take it down to a more of a micro level or a macro level, and you're like, he's corrupt, and like he's stealing from you, and the things you need he is breaking, and they're like, oh, well, fuck that, it's like, yeah. So it just like focus on the smaller things, that he's corrupt and he's incompetent, and then those are the things that you can kind of like move some voters, versus if you're like, oh, democracy and freedom is at stake, people are just ignore you. So
yeah, I also would like to, before we segue out of this very serious note to get into a little more silly shit, I don't know if you saw some of the videos from the young guys who were at CPAC, which CPAC is the dumbest fucking conference ever. Yeah. And they were all like, all this is nonsense. Like, what is all this? Like, it's just, there's the old people who are just in for Trump, and Trump started new wars, and they're like just flabbergasted. And I'm like, dude, you have not been paying attention to anything. You've been listening to dumb right-wing podcasters. Yeah. Like fucking Rogan, who claims he's not right-wing. Dude, you did nothing but fillet Trump's dick the entire fucking time. And you had him on your podcast, and then you're acting like, well, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you fucking did. You promoted the shit out of him, and you're like, well, I'm apolitical. No, you aren't. And we don't have any women watching right now, maybe. But if you do, if you're dating a guy and he says I'm apolitical, he's full of shit. He's a Trump guy and he doesn't want to admit it because he knows it's fucking bad. And you know how I know that? Like, if you watch any of these stupid Love is Blind shows and all the guys are like, well, I know. If that guy is backing off on who he voted for, that motherfucker voted for Trump.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
There is no neutrality. There's no neutrality. We are not in a the whole idea of neutrality and decorum and all that. Fuck that. We are beyond that. We are not in any decorum. Like the Chuck Schumers and Hakeem Jeffries, get the fuck out of there, dude. You guys, like, we're in a fucking crisis where this guy is trying to dismantle everything so he can get rich before he fucking dies. And he can't take any money with him, but he's going to give his dumb fail sons fucking money at the wazoo, and they're going to fuck all that up too. But that's what he's doing. Hooray! So anyway, sorry, I'm done.
I would add to that just to be like, if someone's like, yeah, I'm not political, be the sort of like, hey, what do you think about what Epstein did? Like, hey, I don't want to take sides. I don't.
There's one side to that.
You might want to, like, if you're not taking sides, we know what side you're on, and you should be on a list. I'm just saying, like.
I came up to say that Joe Rogan is a disingenuous bitch. And the reason I had to come up and say that is because YouTube rejected my comment. YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means that they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. I'm not going to fucking change it. He's a disingenuous bitch. And then after that, I wrote he's a bitch, a biatch. So I said both of them on my stream. YouTube, take us down, please, if that's, too much for you to handle, because it's the fucking truth. He's a disingenuous, yes, and he's a bitch, yes. Yeah. So that's it. And bitch is non-gender for me. In fact, it's actually one gender, and it's men. So that's where we're at. And I don't know if we're done or not, but maybe we should.
We could go for 3 hours, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
then we would turn into a right-wing podcast. We're doing it.
All right. So, or a left-wing radical liberal.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into some silliness. We've been doing logos. We were doing brewery logos, Brian. And I know that since you are a cartoonist and you draw all the time, you should be the perfect person to dissect our logos. So
all right.
I went and I dug. Well, I don't know if deep is the word for this one, but we'll check.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Because Doughboys.
Because Dick Boys was already taken, and they had to...
Look, the alliteration with the D and B is pretty cool.
Dick balls, that's
So, what is your take on this one? And Doug, what do we do? 1 to 10? 1 is good, 10 is bad, or no? 1 is bad, 10 is good, right? So, thoughts on this, Mr. Cartoonist? And
I would give it a solid 3, just because it's kind of funny that it's there are logos that I see that I'm just offended by because they're ugly. This is like, there's a certain amount of flair to this, but it's obviously just a penis. If that's your thing, cool. I don't want to yuck your yum. If you want to be the penis pizza place, bravo.
Listen, you got the wrong P word. It's pizza and paninis. Okay, that's what it says.
Paninis, yes.
Okay.
Definitely not.
What are you doing with this one?
Yeah, when you order your panini, make sure you pronunciate that.
What are you doing with this one?
I have a question. What is the question mark jizz that's coming out of the top of
That is, yeah, that little question mark kind of is appropriate. Like, what the hell? Like, what is happening?
Also, the pizza salad panini is that a croissant between all of them? What the fuck is that? Like, or is it shrimp?
Yeah,
Like, what? Listen,
yeah.
I'm avoiding all listen, we can look at two balls and a dick, and we get that. But like, what the fuck is the other stuff? Like the little things are like, oh yeah.
So Doug, to answer your question, like that top circle there, I think that's what's in between that pizza and salad thing. See that?
Yeah.
You see the top,
yeah,
where
yeah.
I
see.
Yeah, I think that's what the
Pizza, tossed salad, and panini.
So,
Tossed
all right,
salad.
Doug. This one gets a solid. Doug knows, or everybody who follows me knows I probably am more endearing to this than everybody else, but it's still really bad, Doug. This is a 2. Like,
yeah. I'm 2.5 because I give it 2. I give it 2.5 just for the silliness of it. If they intentionally made it this way for that, then I give them props because they were just like, we're gonna go all
just
in on
goofy.
this just to be goofy. Like,
right,
great. But like,
right.
Like that question mark thing is, I guess, is that supposed to be the bulbous head? Like, I don't know what.
I don't know what's going on. So, all right, we'll move along to another inappropriate one.
Great.
Brian.
Oh,
this is here you go.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
No!
Actually, my intel tells me that they won an award for this one.
They won an award.
Was it from Trump?
The Epstein Association of like, no.
The context is that it's the Catholic Church, so y'all approve this after what we know about what we know about what we know? Is that is seriously? Is that what we're doing?
Oh my God.
No.
Like, are y'all serious? Is this real life?
Yeah, that was.
No, I'm serious.
That's a
-50. Jesus Christ.
No, he's facing the other way. You don't understand the circle's point. Oh, yeah, no, that is no.
There's tone deaf. That's beyond tone deaf. What's beyond tone deaf?
Doug, they won an award.
Again, was it the Epstein graphic arts award? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
exactly. I'm sure. That's
oh my word.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, I don't even make any more comments because I'm afraid I'm gonna get blacklisted. Like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Boo.
All right, so we're not even going to rate that one. Wow.
No, fuck no, we're not rating.
No,
I said it was -50. That was my rating.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we'll just move along then.
Start with the standard, baby.
All right, Brian. So, I started this segment because I send a lot of emojis. We don't correspond that much, Brian, but ask Doug, I send a lot of emojis, generally in like response. So like I use emojis to say, like, if you would say, yo, Greg, blah, 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 I will probably respond with an emoji to say, hey, I saw it, unless I felt that it needed like explanation, right? So the most controversial emoji, Brian, that we have found is this one.
Really?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you don't know this, considering you have teenage kids.
Okay. Well, I know that my kids are they don't use emojis. Like, I will text. I am also being of a certain age. I'm all about the emojis, so I'll be sending my kids like, oh, just thinking of you, heart, whatever. And yeah, my kids don't use punctuation, capitalization, and certainly not emojis. So I don't know, but I didn't know the thumbs up was especially offensive for any particular reason.
Greg, can you explain it?
Yeah, I will, and then Doug will jump on top, right? So our our co-host Brianna, who is in her 30s, right, Doug? She informed us that not only, and she's not the only one, because there's plenty of evidence out there that Generation Z says that this is passive aggressive. And what is it, Doug? What else did they say about it? Like, it's passive aggressive.
They equate it to saying, like, if somebody responds to a text with just the letter K. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, not okay, just K.
Right. They don't think it's positive at all. They think that you're just blowing them off and you're not really responding. Brianna went so far to say that certain people might be blocked if you give a thumbs up on certain,
which made me just thumbs up everything she said, which is the best thing ever. Oh, you think that you want to? All right, go ahead, block me. Watch
okay, this. Rihanna. Umbrella emoji, umbrella emoji, umbrella emoji.
So then, Brian, what we found, though, because we've been talking about this emoji for a bunch of months, older folks think it's a thumbs up and it's a positive. Younger folks think that it's passive aggressive, and it's an old folks thing for us to think that that's positive.
Yeah, no, it's a sort of thing where.
So Victor's right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And Victor's not talking. He was talking about the logo, the Catholic logo, but I'm going to apply this for now. Right.
Yeah. It's what's funny is I actually had this conversation earlier today where I asked my wife, and I'm like, okay, I know this makes me sound like I'm 1,003 years old, but I'm like, and that maybe this is just I'm 56. So it's a sort of thing like, is this just a thing that every 56-year-old is like, what is happening? Where like my kids will just be like, no cap fam, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. We're like, what do you, like I'll get texts from my son and I'm like, yeah, and I'll be like, just like Googling like, what does blah 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 mean? Google, trying to like put it into my little decoder ring to see what the fuck is my kid saying to me. And so, and I was asking my wife, I'm like, is this just because I think of back like my parents had to wrap their head around like, so bad means good, and why do you keep saying awesome all the time? But we didn't have like this whole, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. But it just seems like with the internet, it's just kind of like made like all the lingo, the new updated lingo, that like the shit that was like super in like last month is now, oh no one says that anymore. I don't know. So I don't know. Every once in a while I'll say something and my kids will just be in shock and I'm like, what? We're not saying that anymore. Thumbs up, whatever. I'm like, all right.
Right. And it's Brian, I'm serious. It's all older people who think it's positive, and it's all younger people that thinks it's bad. And I'm like, well, what about the thumbs down emoji? I can't even really have the conversation anymore because I'm just I don't. My youngest uses specific sticker packs that are hyper emojis. He installed them on my phone and then got upset that I used them. I don't know what to say.
That's a very teenager thing. Come on, put this on your phone. Great. Don't ever use it.
Yeah. I am okay. This is funny, where I'm old enough to remember when emojis started being a thing, and I was like, what is with all the little pictures? Can't we just put our thoughts into words? And then people I'm like, no, come on, it's kind of fun. And now I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Emoji, and like, no, don't do that. Don't. I'm like, okay, but I thought we were okay. So once we stop, guaranteed, like, Gen, 0.2, whatever the fuck comes along, it's going to be like, no, why are you using letters? We don't use letters anymore.
Just all numbers now. All numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Just like 101110. It'll be binary. Like whatever.
That would be super funny if it's binary. I actually know a little bit of that, so that's fine. Since I work in IT and I've worked in IT for 25 years, I know a bit of that stuff.
I would be lost. But
Yeah. So there's really not much more to say about this one, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that
It-
was.
Be careful out there in those emoji streets,
Okay,
Brian.
I'm just
telling
gonna
you. Be careful.
do
Be
not
careful.
send thumbs up to the kids anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, do that intentionally, Brian.
Also,
do it intentionally. Just
also, you're not just supposed to send like. So if I say, what did I say to you earlier? I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot or didn't remember this whole Hallmark thing, and I think you laughed at that, right? You can't just send a thumbs up. You have to send it with an explanation too, right, Doug? Brianna said that like just a thumbs up without explanation is bad, and she might block you. So I'm just gonna say all of them feel that way. Yeah, I don't know, but so we'll just move along to this one. Which, Doug, do you ever use this one?
I've used this a very few handful of times.
Okay.
To me, it's like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, oh my, and I'm sweating because it's a little spicy. Not like spicy, like food spicy, like that is a spicy comment. Not like it's a spicy meatball. It's a spicy comment.
Okay.
That's my context. And what do you guys think?
It doesn't mean you're hot?
Well,
like
I could
hot.
I've used it if I am in the sun and the sun is very, very warm. Which
that would be my instinct.
Yeah, my wife will be like, "Hey, the sun is 170 Instagram." I'm like, that's too fucking hot. I'm gonna. I want the sun to be like 150. So I would use it then if I'm dying of heat. But like I also think it's so I have two interpretations of that.
Yeah,
Brian, if I was use this one,
I don't know that if I've ever used that. But if I were, it would be like, oh, I'm stuck in this room and it's really hot. Whatever would be that would be if I were to be like searching through like what is the appropriate whatever. I might be like, oh, there's one I haven't used.
Okay.
Like, yeah. But what does that really mean?
What if the wife sends you something hot?
I would, maybe like
devil emoji. It's always
devil
emoji.
Or y'all too old for that shit? Are y'all too old for that shit?
I would say it would be a devil, a heart, or a fire.
Eggplant emoji. Eggplant.
Yeah, I mean, there's an eggplant emoji. Like whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Just thumbs up.
Do the double thumbs up.
Just. Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. So, like, if she sends you something that gets you hot, y'all won't use.
Just don't send her an LOL or whatever. Okay. Yeah. No.
I've used this.
No. My response would be like, "I'm be right there."
Yeah. Exactly. I don't have to send an emoji because I'm.
Yeah, but what if Doug? Your wife travels a lot. What if she sends you a hot text and like she's in like Missouri or something?
Yeah, then I'll send her a hot picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you got that image in your brain.
Y'all sending. I think y'all sending the eggplant is kind of wild. Actually, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
How is that wild?
It's wilder than this.
Yeah,
it's wilder. It's wilder.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's not that wild, Doug, because it's like y'all married, right? So like, I got it, right? But like,
we've been married for a fucking long time, and the idea that we still are hot for each other, that's pretty fucking good.
Oh, right. But if you weren't, I think men should tread lightly on the eggplant emoji, just generally. Maybe I'm wrong.
I never send the eggplant emoji, even to my wife, just for a record.
Well, y'all are the ones who just said the eggplant emoji. One of y'all did, and then the
other
one
I think it's funny. I think
that's
funny. I think if I said that, my wife would laugh.
Yeah. No, I've been known to. I've been known to eggplant. It's not my go-to.
I've been known to eggplant.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that old, okay? Like occasionally there's an eggplant, not like when I was younger, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you I'm just saying I'm not too old for an eggplant. I just
What would be funny is if she sent you some really spicy thing and you send her like the peach emoji.
Yeah, exactly. Just
wait, what's
Doug? We got like a banana that's like
next week we're doing the peach emoji and the eggplant emoji, but we're gonna have Ariana, so we're not gonna.
Yeah.
I should have known that the eggplant was one for the night because To me, this is safer than the eggplant.
He doesn't seem
sure,
happy to
for
me.
sure, for
Like
sure.
if your wife sent you
He
that,
seems
and
uncomfortable.
you're like, ugh, that seems like, find a better angle.
I'm like,
I'm just saying.
I'm hot. You're
Maybe
gonna
that's
be
not
more
the lighting
flexible.
that I would have gone with. I'm just saying.
Find a better
Okay.
angle.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
not from below. That's not the way.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Below.
I thought the political talk was going to be risky. Y'all,
Yeah.
we're gonna get out. I'm getting
You're
out.
like,
We're
can we
getting
just
out of
talk about politics again for a second?
we're gonna put on some sexy music. So Doug might actually end up sending this emoji to his wife.
Okay.
Right. I got a tip that Brian wanted to talk about this, but not spoiler.
Oh my
What's
goodness.
going on with this, Brian?
Have either of you guys seen this movie yet?
I started watching it, and unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to. I literally got 10 minutes in, and I was trying to watch it during a work day because I thought it was going to be a slow work day.
Oh God, no.
And then, like 10 minutes in, I'm like, fuck. And then I couldn't watch the rest of it, and I just haven't gotten back to it. This movie is like really interesting to me because Emma Stone's in it and Jesse Plemons, and that's enough said on that.
Yeah. It's a movie that I saw like previews for in the trailers, and I'm like, this just seems heavy and depressing and whatever. And I watched it, and it I don't want to say too much because there's some twists that I did not expect. And it's just I mean, it's a heavy movie. It's about, like if you know anything about it, it's basically a CEO that gets kidnapped by these two guys or these conspiracy theorists who, like have these like, oh, they think she's an alien and blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, but it's great. It just go watch it. Don't try and do it like it in the corner of your screen while you're, like filling out your Excel sheet or something. But yeah, if you can sit down and actually watch it, it's mwah. I love it. It was one of those movies I watch a fair amount of media, and that's like one of the ones that I watched and I was like, oh crap. And I just like jump online and like, what are people saying about that scene and what is the meaning behind blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was just great. Can't say enough good things. So Begonia is, one of the better movies that I've seen in recent history. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's one of those that you have to like really pay attention to, right? Like,
I mean, it is. It's not
right.
Like it's not a complicated whodunit or whatever, or like it's, but it is a movie that demands your attention. It's like it's an intense movie, so you want to. It's not the sort of thing you'll have in the background as you're like, like, oh, I'm doing.
It's not like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, exactly. It is a movie that you would want, like you want to watch this movie versus like, it's on the background. I'm getting the gist of it, whatever. It's like, no, you want to watch this movie. So,
all right. Well, one that is, I think, a little bit less intense, but I think you got to pay a little bit of attention to this one, right, Doug?
For sure. So what's funny is, so I talked about this when I watched it, and I'm glad you got to watch it finally. So I listened to the audiobook version of this, and the audiobook version done by a great guy named Ray Porter, who that's one of my dream interviews. Ray Porter is one of the very best audiobook narrators I've ever heard. He makes every character his own. But they basically took all the very hard sci-fi and condensed it into something much more digestible. And Gosling's fucking excellent in it. And it's Gosling. It's a movie with Gosling and a fucking alien. And that is fucking 75 to 80% of the movie. And it's just great. Gosling is awesome in it. My wife, who is not attracted to Ryan Gosling in any way, said this is the hottest Ryan Gosling has ever been. So it's just, I don't know. Like it's he's wearing like these sweaters and he looks very homey. He does a very dumb thing. Like, see how his glasses are hanging? He does that a lot. I think that's really dumb. But So, all right, hold on. We need to go to Brian. Brian, let's look at Brian now.
You know, I do get mistaken for Ryan Gosling so much. It just,
So you're talking right into your glasses. That's
yeah. That's if I had a nickel for every time people are like, Ryan, I'm like, it's Brian. But thank you. I get that so much. But thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, he was running around promoting this movie. You heard what I said about him.
yeah. What did you think of the movie, Greg? You just saw it, so.
I saw it 4 days after you, Doug. You act like I seen it like centuries after you or something. I saw it on a Tuesday. You saw it on a Friday. So
I know. I'm just saying.
My thing was I didn't say anything about it because I didn't want any spoilers, or I didn't want to spoil it for anybody. It's just I don't know. I still don't really want to spoil it that much. It's just a great movie that you need to see on the big screen. It's just one of those big screen movies. It tells a really good story, and as I love to say, it lives up to its tomatoes. So you can take that, whatever you want to take that. 95%. When anybody in America or in a wild spread agrees 98 or 96% of the time on anything, it's something that you should probably consider to see. That's really all I got. Doug, said what he said.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Brian?
I haven't seen it. I want to, but I haven't seen it yet.
I know y'all disagree and bitch and whine about Rotten Tomatoes all day long. It's so horrible. But like, again, when does anybody agree on 96% of anything, especially a fucking critic? No, so that being said, go see that movie. If you can't see it on the big screen, see it. It's a good family movie too, but it's really, really great on the big screen. And I was 3 seats away. I was up in the front because I have this thing, Brian, where I don't want to sit next to any of y'all in the movie. I don't want any of y'all within 6 feet of me. I don't want to smell your popcorn. I don't want to see you. I don't want to have to see, like, and I don't know about y'all movie theaters. While we're here, I don't know about y'all movie theaters, right? But we have these movie theaters where, like, it's basically a fucking lounge now, right? You can decline your, you recline your seat, you sit back, but like these bitches now, Brian, get all mad when you have to go to the bathroom and they have to adjust their seat to move. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, y'all are too comfortable. Like, sometimes I think Americans are just too comfortable. And honestly, I'm not trying to go back to Trump or anything. I think like if there's a silver lining in this jackass's fucking entourage, is that he keeps us on our toes. Now it's horrible and it's gross, right? But at the same time, Americans are too fucking lazy and too fucking like entitled that you can't move your fucking seat 2 fucking inches so somebody could go to the bathroom and you're gonna be all like hemming and hawing about it. So what I done, Brian, is I sit up all the way in the front. I never been a front person, and like I even wait to the day sometimes if I know it's gonna be busy, and I'll wait. I asked Doug, I like to like order online and like walk in, but if I know it's gonna be busy, I will wait to make sure that my aisle is completely clean of any of y'all, and I will even sit on the second row to do that. Do you have any do you have any weird movie quirks, Brian, while we're here? Because I know it's weird and I know y'all can make fun of me, and that's
I don't
care.
I have a lot of like the thing that I was gonna say is I don't mind getting up, whatever, that's fine. I just don't want the guy in front of me to be looking on his phone and just have that like as I'm trying to see, like I'm like, what the like I'm trying to see what the fucking phone. Like I don't want that in the row in front of me. I don't want to be like, I'm like, oh my god, this is what like I don't want that. That is, I don't want the guy in front of me looking at his phone. I saw it after I remember we went to see, it'd been, I'm trying to think, I think it was like after COVID, when it was, things were settling down, you can kind of go back to the theater again. We went to see a Quiet Place 2, and where I was like, oh, I really liked the Quiet Place one, so I'm like, oh, we're gonna see Quiet Place 2, and we went, and it was not a quiet place because we were sitting next to a bunch of teenagers, and there's like there's like these weird tense moments, and they're like, oh, it's tense, so we're just gonna laugh and talk through it, and we can't, whatever, it's too quiet in here, so we're just gonna like oh my god. Just like so yeah, if I go to a movie, it's gonna be like, oh, I'm going to 3 o'clock on a Wednesday or something, because I stand the, like the people, the phone, the talking, the whatever. Yeah, that is me. Yeah. There is something about like, if you go to a movie and everybody's in this, like, we're all here, we're all enjoying it, we're all laughing, we're all like, oh, we're all experiencing that, and we're all cool, and that's great. Here's something I used to do. It was the worst idea ever, which was when I was a younger, poorer man. I'm not rich now, but I don't want to brag. I can afford to see a movie on occasion. Yeah, that's how I roll. But when I couldn't, and there was like the free newspaper, and they'd be like, oh, we're trying to promote this movie, so you can go to this movie for free, whatever. So like, come first, and if you go to those a showing where you don't have to pay, it just brings people in who don't want to see the movie. They just don't want to be outside, and they're just like, we're just going to hang out indoors and talk, and we don't know how movies work, and we're just going to be like, blah, blah. The worst experience ever is to go to see a free movie with people who just haven't seen movies before and don't know how to behave. So don't do that. So yeah, I get up. That's why I have a big TV behind me. So I'm like I'll just wait till it's on Netflix or whatever. So
most movies, I agree with you. We're gonna do this and start to get out of here. Brian, what did you have to drink this evening?
I had a wild turkey, which was delightful, and I had it in this very pretentious little tulip glass
it's a sexy glass.
Where I stuffed my nose in it and pretended like I was picking up on notes or whatever. And then I had a wild sour blueberry crumble, and weirdly enough, I had it sitting out for a little bit. And I think that it
got better.
And this sounds pretentious, but it's like, previously I'd had it when it like straight out of the fridge, but I'm like just having it a little warmer. I don't know. Or maybe it's just, I don't know, it's warmed up with one of these or something, but I don't know. I enjoyed it more than the previous ones. I don't know. It was a delight. So from Distill Brewery, wild sour, blueberry crumble. If you're somebody who if you want to hurt your tongue and drink an IPA, good on you. But if you enjoy flavor or something, then maybe try a wild sour blueberry crumble. There you go.
So apparently I hurt my tongue today, Doug, because I had before we started, I had during our pregame, I had a session IPA and I had a hazy IPA. And then I followed that up with a cold IPA. I really hit Brian hard today.
Yeah.
And then I had an oatmeal stout with my name on it. It was amazing. Yeah. All of them were really, really good for the most part. And I can't complain. Doug, you had 3 and we didn't hear about your third one.
All right. So honestly, I'm going to say from my perspective, this is the worst one just because it was super hoppy. It was a Daredevil American IPA. It was just too hoppy for me. Cool can. I think it's really rad that they did that. The second thing, this is the thing that I thought was the 11th hour. It's a dry hop pilsner. This was delicious. I still have a little bit more. This I got from Daniel Fisher, so thank you for that. But the best fucking thing I had was this weird 6.5% Scotch ale that was aged in Lafroig barrels.
Why is it weird?
How the fuck that was the only 6.5% is just super beyond me. This was delicious. This was the best thing I had all night. So, cheers.
So, taking us out here, Brian, please tell us where we can find you and your latest work. And
you can find me on tinyview.com. Also, I've got a couple of books out now, Dante Inferno. If you've got kids between like say 8 and 12, I've got 2 books. This one comes out officially in later this May, but you can pre-order it wherever fine books are sold. This one is out currently, and there's a third book, and hopefully things are looking good. There'll be more books after that. Fingers crossed. So yeah, but otherwise, tinyview.com is where you can find all my stuff, or just follow me on the Fowl Language socials all over the place, and that'll lead you to where you need to be. So there you go.
Thank you, Brian, and we'll talk to you here soon, right after this. Thank you, Brian, for coming on.
Cheers.
Thanks for having
Brian.
me. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! And then,
I
come
gotta
back
hit-
here.